able to surprise his opponent and he was able to score 3 points. This technique is simple but effective. The core principle is to block it or dodge it. And even if it's obvious for everyone, when we are in a fight, nothing goes as we wish. So in this video we are going to go more in depth and I'm going to show you all the solutions that you can use in your fight to beat the sidekick. The problem with the sidekick is that if our opponent is smart, he's going to use the sidekick in the best stance possible, so he can use a stance that allows him to guard easily and he can throw it from a safer distance. So he can hit us without getting hit back. And for what I found during all my videos and this analysis, the Mujo competition that I'm going to analyze and break down, there are multiple combinations that can be used as a solution to beat the sidekick. But the basic rule is that you can block it and respond with another combination or a single technique, or you can dodge it and create a window to counterattack. But there are multiple ways that we can use to achieve this goal. Nice to meet you, I'm Lorenzo and I love to share my Taekwondo knowledge here on YouTube so you can improve your skills. You are going to watch a lot of fight analysis where you can take the best thing from every single fight. So if you want to get some advanced tips, it's a great idea to subscribe my channel. You can get a premium guide by joining my membership. There are more than 10 exclusive guides that will help you to become the best fighter in your doyang, and if you will follow them correctly, you can even achieve a national level. Now let's break down some fights, some action, because we can take a lot of insights. And in this action, the red is playing aggressive with their sidekick, but in the moment the blue managed to close the distance, the tactic hand. The first momentum show you that one of the key tactics to beat sidekick is to close the distance by denying your opponent tactic. Of course you will have a lot of chance to score kicks in a clinch, but you have to be ready to do it or your opponent will be able to counter you during the clinch, or maybe you can even get an advantage if you close without being able to react correctly. So when you close the distance, be ready to respond. The blue, after being pressed by the red, changed his strategy and was able to close the distance. Once in the clinch he created space and struck with a roundhouse kick. As the red stepped back, he found an opening and used a beautiful spinning back kick. A similar action in this case, but with a hook kick. What you have to do is to cancel your opponent's kick and strike back with a no kick. Seems easy to watch and to say, but once you have to do that, it's not that easy, so you need a little bit of practice, of course. And trust me, this girl had a lot of success with this combination, so it's an effective combination that you can steal from this fighter and bring in your doya. When her opponent uses a side kick, she cancels it and quickly responds with a hook kick. And if you are enough close, you can aim for the helmet. Instead, if you are a little bit too far, you can respond with a hook kick to the torso. But what if your opponent is able to cancel your kicks? If you see that your opponents cancel many of your sidekicks, she uses the sidekick as a way to break through the defense and to close the distance. And this is not the first time that she lands a middle spin hook kick, un perfetto middle spin hook kick that allows her to score 4 points. The second trick that you can use to beat people that cancel your sidekick is to fake a sidekick. Because if your opponent has the habit to cancel it, you can create a pattern, so you use multiple sidekick, and then you fake a sidekick, but then you go for a next kick. This is the best way to break your opponent's plan. As last, if you want to test a more aggressive approach, you can close the distance with your sidekick, but with the goal to hit with a close distance roundhouse kick. And that's even one of the most used techniques by Korean fighters. In this case, the red beat the sidekick by reading the blue movement, and instead of backstepping, he used an advanced cancel kick to block the opponent's sidekick. This allowed him to clinch and strike a high kick to blue helmet. He was able to surprise his opponent and he was able to score 3 points. In my opinion, the main reason why you are not able to beat the sidekick is because you are scared by it, then you are not able to kick from your correct distance, so you are not able to control the right distance and to control your opponent's distance. As you have watched during this video, you have multiple options, and those are just a few of them. But if you are scared to get kicked by your opponent, so what is going to happen is that you won't be able to respond correctly to your opponent's techniques, so you should not be scared by your opponent's kicks, but you should be able to respond correctly. So if you start with the intention to kick your opponent, don't give up or don't stop when your opponent responds to your kick or is going to get an advantage, because you lose the momentum and you create an opening for your opponent. So when you want to kick, when you want to score, or when you want to block or dodge your opponent techniques, don't change your idea during the action, at least not in this time of your career. You should commit to your technique, because only by committing you will be able to understand what you are doing wrong. Because if you start with a sidekick and you commit to hit with a sidekick, the worst thing that can happen is that you are going to push your opponent out of the map. In most cases, when you commit with your technique, you will have higher chance to get even an injury. Because if you stop your sidekick, meanwhile your opponent responds with another technique, you are not going to push your opponent, you are not going to balance your opponent, and you will let your opponent a free technique on you. So you create a perfect window for him. Now I let you 2 different gifts. The first is that you can download my free ebook from the link in the description or from the first comment. And the second, you can watch the advice video that pop up on the left or the right.